you, Mayor. My name is Eric Hochberg. I'm a physician on staff in Glen Cove Hospital. I decided to wear a white coat today so I wouldn't, with all due respect, Mayor, so I wouldn't be mistaken for a politician. Although if the hospital does wind up closing, I may need a different career down the road. I'm going to keep my options open. I started in Glen Cove in 1990, which I believe was the same year that the North Shore health system began. Some of you may not know that Glen Cove Hospital was the first hospital that joined together with North Shore Manhasset to become the so-called North Shore Health System. Subsequently, North Shore merged with Long Island Jewish, and it became the North Shore Long Island Jewish Health System. Now I'm a little bit confused because with that name, I'm not quite sure why Staten Island Hospital, last time I looked at a map, is that on the North Shore or on Long Island? No. Lenox Hill was recently acquired by the system. Again, my maps don't show that to be anywhere on the North Shore or in Long Island. So after 23 years after the formation of the system, the first hospital that they elect to seek to close is the first hospital that merged with North Shore so many years ago, and it's one of the only hospitals that's on the North Shore, on Long Island, which is their name. So, you know, people are asking, why Glen Cove? Why would they close Glen Cove? Glen Cove is actually profitable. Hospitals really aren't in the business to make money. They just hope not to lose money. Well, Glen Cove has done better than many of the other hospitals in the North Shore system, and last year was financially in the black. Now, some people in administration are making projections that maybe down the road, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, the hospital may lose money. A lot of things may happen in the future. And do we close a hospital today because of projections that there could be financial issues down the road? I don't think so. The other issue is, well, why would you close a hospital? Maybe financially it has problems. Maybe it has poor quality of care. I don't think so. Glen Cove has manifests one of the highest quality of care levels of any hospital in the North Shore system. The patient satisfaction rate is extremely high, and higher than many of the so-called academic institutions that Glen Cove is affiliated with in the system. Employee satisfaction is very high. The quality of care measures as determined by the state relating to infections and readmission rates, Glen Cove Hospital does extremely well. Glen Cove Hospital has a world-renowned orthopedic program. Doctors from all over the world have literally come to Glen Cove. I've seen it. Teams of doctors from Europe, from many other countries, go into our operating rooms to see how do we perform the surgery that we perform, how do we maintain the quality of care that we can, and it's really a tribute to the orthopedic program, which the hospital feels shouldn't be in Glen Cove anymore for some reason. The rehabilitation unit, which is known... Yeah, please applaud. It's one of the largest rehabilitation units in the tri-state area. The quality of care measures are, again, astronomical. Patients love coming here. Family members fight to try to get their family members into the esteemed rehabilitation program in Glen Cove Hospital. Glen Cove Hospital is different from other hospitals in the North Shore LIJ system. It is geographically isolated. They don't seem to be taking that into consideration in this decision process. There are areas of North Shore, Long Island, where there could be 3 hospitals in a very tiny area. Syosset, Plainview, St. Joseph. I don't want any of those hospitals to close, but those 3 hospitals are all very close together. If they close Glen Cove, where are the patients going to go? Are they going to go to Syosset, which really isn't a fully functional hospital? Are they going to go to St. Francis, which St. Francis frequently operates at 100% capacity? So where are these patients going to go? Now, why do they close a hospital that's financially doing well,
that quality of care-wise is off the charts, unfortunately, I think the answer has to do with other hospitals in the North Shore system. They're taking the assets of Glen Cove to try to fix other places that may not be doing quite so well. They want to move the orthopedic program to Syosset. And as I said to Mr. Dowling, well, that's great for Syosset, but what does that do for Glen Cove? They then want to move the Syosset bariatric surgery unit up to Huntington. That's great for Huntington. How does that help Glen Cove? They want to move the rehab beds to another facility, yet to be determined. That'll help some other hospital. They want to move the psychiatry unit to another facility. That will help somebody else. I want to read the mission statement of the North Shore LIJ Health System. So these are their words. These aren't mine. The North Shore LIJ Health System strives to improve the health of the communities it serves and is committed to providing the highest quality care. Really? How does this improve the quality of care in our community? To be a national healthcare leader, this is their statement, committed to excellent compassion and improving the health of the community. A national healthcare leader. Their name is North Shore Long Island Jewish. How about being concerned about the health care of the community on the North Shore of Long Island? Woo! Now, with all due respect to the mayor, the hospital system says the hospital isn't closing. Well, I don't know how you define the word hospital, but to be a hospital, don't you have to be able to hospitalize patients? So when they say the hospital isn't closing, well, okay, you go to the emergency room and you need to be admitted, but oh, you can't be admitted there. So it's still a building, they provide medical care, but to call it a hospital, to me, I think somebody needs to look up the definition of hospital in the dictionary. They say they're going to keep the emergency room open. For how long? Unfortunately, some of the recent actions by the North Shore LIJ Health System have called into question whether or not some of the things they're saying and have done can be totally trusted. How do we know in 6 months' time the emergency room may not be doing so well? Are people with a serious situation going to go to an emergency room when they know they can't be admitted there? Maybe they'll bypass Glen Cove and go somewhere else, which unfortunately, financially down the road, the hospital may say, oh, you know what, our plan really isn't working out. We tried and we're going to have to close the emergency room. That would be a terrible situation. Because as we heard on a story a little earlier from the Hosey family, if that happens, who will be there to save the next Sean Hosey? Thank you very much.
Dr. Eric Hochberg, everyone.